everyone, welcome back. The off season is now here. It's sad. Racing is now over for the year. We're not going back for another 6+ months. I know. However, the work still continues because there is a lot I'm going to be doing. Thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging in there with me and for going on this journey with me. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Truly I do, because I came to the realization the other day that with all the opportunities that I've had and all of the things that have come my way have been because of not only the relationships that I've made from the YouTube channel, but personally as well. And I wouldn't have any of that without you guys. So thank you all so very much for everything that you've been doing for me. By the way, go head up to the merch store, GleasonBrosRacing.com. We got hats, we got tumblers, which I can't show you because I'm currently driving. Koozies, tank tops, t-shirts. I'll show you all those at the end of the episode. But anyway, yeah, I'm in my truck and trailer, of course. Where am I going? Well, I have to bring my brother's injured car back to his shop with no gears left in the transmission. This is gonna be fun. All right, so we're gonna try to get there, get this thing unloaded, get it back to him, give him all his parts and stuff back, and hopefully we can get back in our own shop because we got a lot of work to do there as well. First things first, as a New Englander, Dunkin' run. Large ice Dunkin' drink fits perfectly in the new Gleason's Garage Koozie branded tumbler, stainless steel. And it'll keep it cold forever, which is pretty rad, especially in them hot summer months. Get yours at GleasonBrosRacing.com. I know I'm being kind of annoying with the merch plugs, but you know what? It really, really helps the race team and the channel a lot. So that's why I keep pushing it. And trust me, the stuff that we have is actually really good. So there's a commissary truck behind me. I better get the heck out of the way. Well, I was planning on parking it at the top of the hill and just backing it down the driveway because of all the flotsam and jetsam out here with all the other trailers that are kind of in the way and other assorted vehicles we're working on. But I said, you know what? I'm not bad at backing a trailer up. Let's do this. And, well, that's not bad. The only thing I'm hoping for is that it has reverse. Okay guys, you're coming with me real time. We're gonna see if we can find out what's wrong with this thing. And you know what? I don't know if I could even film because I can barely squeeze under here. Now, this thing doesn't have, I don't think it has oil pressure. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Oh. Huh. When did that happen? Okay, so, I don't know how that happened. I don't know why there's no drain plug in it. But I got an idea. And I phoned my brother to see what he thought. And when he went up over the car spinning to avoid him and wrecking next to him, when he caught the front bumper of that car and it popped his tire and he slammed back down on the ground, that's a lot of where the dig marks and scuffs and everything in the bottom of the car, and then the exhaust came from probably. I bet you when it hit the ground, it hit the edge of the drain bolt, and it actually loosened the bolt. I bet you any money. And then when he got down to pit road where you saw all the smoke, that wasn't the tire that was flat that he was rolling on. I bet you any money that was the oil that finally let go when he hit the ground, loosened the bolt or the drain plug, and got down to pit road. I'm going to go review the footage and make sure he had oil pressure when he parked the car in the pit, and I'll get back to you. Okay, unfortunately, I couldn't see anything in the video because it was really kind of dark, and it doesn't look like I could. I'm looking at it now. It's kind of at an angle where it's like you can't see it anyway, and I don't know if there's a light there. Let me take a look here, just kind of real quick. Yeah, there's a light. It's just it's very, very dim. So, oh well. So, I'll just have to sit here and cross my fingers and hope that the motor is not hurt. And I don't think it was really any of our fault. Clearly, that thing was tight. It would have fallen out otherwise. I think there was an acting force upon it that caused it to loosen up and fail. Or not fail, but fall out. So, that's the damnedest thing. I've been in racing for 26 years. I've never seen the ground, knock a drain plug and loosen it up to the point where it just unthreads, because the threads are fine. I put another one in there and it tightened up just fine. There's no damage to the threads whatsoever. I think it loosened the damn drain plug. Anyway, I'm going to clean up here and get back to my shop because I'm pretty much done here. I got his car up in the air for him and I took a look at it, and it needs to be degreased bad. So anyway, see you back at the shop. All right, it's a few days later, and I can't work in the shop because, well, the power's out on a clear, sunny day. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do what all racers have to do at one point, which is get to work cleaning up after yourself after the season's been over. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to take my truck and trailer and move it out of here. And I'm going to take my F-250 and I'm going to move it over here. And I'm just going to start working on it because that thing is frightening to drive. The shocks are all completely blown out of it. Every single leaf in my yard just blew into my garage, which I'm totally excited about. I have to get rear tires put on it. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. We're going to see because, they need balancing and stuff. But I'm going to make that thing a little bit safer to drive on the road, even though there isn't any body left on it. It's disgusting. It's just melted out from underneath me from rust. But I also need to get the scrap metal from this season chucked into the back there. I also have body panels that I've kind of hoarded over the years that people have given me for free, just kind of hanging around. And I really would like to get the yard a bit cleaner. And this is, like I said, this is boring, tedious work, but every single racer knows exactly what I'm going through. You spend all spring and summer getting ready to race, going racing, solely focused on racing, and everything around you kind of falls apart. Well, we're going to put all those pieces back together. So I'm going to go out and try to tie down my tarp that's currently trying to blow off my red car. And I might put some more, I forgot what those things are called. Gussets? Rivets? No, what the hell are they? Grommets, those things. Because I bought one of them little vinyl tarps, and apparently they cut them to size and they don't put grommets in them. So I bought a grommet kit off of Amazon. I'm just going to put some bungee cords and grommets in it. That way I don't have to try to use bricks to hold it down, because that clearly hasn't worked. So I'm going to get to work. All right, those of you who may not remember, this is my 2000 Ford F-250 Super Duty Power Stroke 7.3 manual 4x4 truck. I bought this truck for the grand total of $500. By the way, yes, it is registered and insured, and I do drive it on the road, just not very much. I only really use it for plow duty in the wintertime, or when I need to, I can go and do some scrap metal use. Boys home from school. That's good. So, that being said, I need to go through my pile. I've got a lot of stuff here that I'm probably not going to use ever again and need to get rid of. Much like any other racer, like I said, I got my trailer brakes, I got the old drums, I got this jack that burst the piston, rotors, doors, fenders, quarters, shelves, scrap, all this other stuff. I have to go through my pile of body work and make sure that that's cleaned up and organized. And then I have to go through all the rest of the yard and make sure all the rest of the stuff, like that aluminum scrap, gets taken out too. So aside from the tires being completely bald, at least in the middle, and the rust issues, which if I had if I had power, that would be taken care of because I'd be able to use my air needler and take some of that out. You can actually see that majority of the bed that's remaining is the plastic bed liner that was in it. So that's good. You'll also notice that there is no rear shock on it because that kind of rotted off. The mount on the rear end is fine, and I left the bolt there. The other one's there. I just don't know how bad it is. But you'll also see that I did put brakes in it because they were kind of grabby. And I put new flex hoses on it because that was also contributing to the rear brakes grabbing. It's a good truck, especially for $500, but she needs some help. And considering the fact that my life and anybody else's who may borrow the truck or be riding with me is kind of at stake, you'll see these boxes that have been here forever. These are shock mounts and shocks for that truck. And since everybody needs a good, safe shop truck, well, that's what this is going to be. I was using my tow vehicle, the Dodge, for everything until I came into possess this one. This one, however, needs a little more help. And I want it to be safe. I'm sick of driving it like it is. I've got some scrap metal laying around that I might try to patch this bed back together with, which will not happen. But I do want at least something safe that I can do scrap metal runs and plow out my family driveways, and I use it for volunteer work as well. I don't really talk about it, but I do. I don't think I've made a dime plowing driveways with this truck, but I do go plow out like church parking lots and stuff like that for free. But so I'm gonna go see if I can crawl under this thing and see how bad it is to get these. And I don't know if I can do it without power tools or electricity, but we'll see. I'm searching the darkness for one of my redneck yoga mats, which, by the way, the t-shirt is available on GleasonBrosRacing.com. Feel free to get yours now. I do have novel t-shirts available. Do you think my bumper's any good? Oh, that's good. Nope. 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 I've had a development. I think the rear frame is kind of junk. I've been chipping all the rust off, and I got to a spot where eventually it went through. And this is my body hammer. I really shouldn't be using this because this is actually nice. It's like a snap-on body hammer. But it's got a pick end on it, and I've been picking at it. Oh! My electricity's back on. I'll just go use my air nibbler or needler or whatever I have. As remediation efforts are getting more and more depressing by the moment, because I keep finding holes in the chassis, I've also found some scrap metal laying around that I'm just going to stick to it with, I think I'm just going to stick weld it. Because I'm terrible at that, and I could use the practice, and I think this would work really well as practice. I'll use the air needler or whatever that thing was. I don't remember where I put it. shine it up a little bit with that, and then just take this and just cut it to length and not even like try to get it to fit. I don't care if I leave the ridges out like this. I'm just gonna weld it over the bad spots and just drive the truck until it folds in half. But I'm also finding some spots in the front. Now, I said, you know what? I need to kind of cheer myself up a little bit. So I grabbed my can of knocker loose, which I'm not paid for, so there we go. And I sprayed it on the front shock bolts, which are really easy to get to. And I'm gonna make myself feel better by trying to get those off with my Milwaukee, likely break the bolts off, swear a lot, and then probably just leave it and have no shocks in the truck. I'm getting to the point where I'm very glad that I didn't spend that much money on trying to fix this thing, because if I was smart, or even, you know, if I had the money, I wouldn't be fixing this. I'd just buy a new truck. But since trucks are extraordinarily stupidly priced, to the tune of like $65,000 for a base model, I won't be buying one anytime soon. So the 6011 rod, or the 7018 or whatever I have laying back there, that's really the wrong stuff for the job, is gonna get stuck to the side of this truck, and I'm gonna drive it until it dies or I go with it. So here we go. Let's at least go find my Milwaukee and burn these off. Apologies for the wind noise. It is brutal. Just need a win right now. Ooh. Am I even on 3? I'm not even on 3. All right, let's put it in bolt breaker mode. Oh, shoot. The inner fender well's in the way of this. You believe that? We actually got it off. Just that. All right. How do you work? Are you the right size? Yep. Why wouldn't it be the same size? Of course. Yeah. Oh, no. See, they tried to be smart and put a washer with a little hex nut and a tab so that that tab could grab onto what's on the spindle, so that you only need one wrench to take it off. Well, Rust told me that's not possible anymore, so now we got to fix it. Oh, for those keeping score at home, this is probably my 6th pair of lavalier microphones. It's been going really well. Okay, I wasn't asking anymore. Vice grips are the universal wrench. Okay, let's hurt ourselves. Ow, damn it. Yeah, this isn't gonna work, is it? Okay. I guess vice grips kind of aren't the universal wrench. They also don't make great hammers. Ow. Okay, you know what? Let me get back to you guys when I get this thing off, because this might be a while. And I needed a win too. I got it out. I shouldn't drop it on the ground like that, because you know what? With how look at how bad that thing looks. But watch this. It's hard to push down. Rust is coming off of it. But look, it actually works. Huh. Color me surprised. That's all right. Still going. Oh. Okay, this side's done. Not the easiest, but honestly, not the most difficult either. Now I'm gonna go rinse and repeat the other side for no obvious reason. And shock number 2 went a lot easier than shock number 1, which absolutely none of this will make any difference whatsoever because of this. The sway bar pad is ripped off of the axle, so the sway bar doesn't work. Terrific. It's a few hours later. I got kind of busy doing some other stuff and helping a fellow racer out with some tires. So I think I'm gonna actually call it for the day because I don't know if I really have the intestinal fortitude to go out there and stick welding rod to this thing because it's gonna stink. And I don't know if I'm really gonna do what I'm gonna do, but I do have the shock mounts for this truck, and I do have some plate, and I do have some C-channel, and I have some scrap. Do I burn wire into the truck, or do I just say the hell with it? Well, I kind of need to burn wire into it, so I'm just gonna I haven't eaten all day. There's my excuse, okay? I haven't eaten all day. It's the off season. I have to get the damn scrap metal truck together. I still need it to go do plow work and stuff. We'll get it fixed. It's just that this video might be a little shorter than usual. That's all. So anyway, whatever. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Okay, it is the next day. I've decided to stop procrastinating and start fabricating, even though I really kind of don't want to, but I kind of am forced to. This is my shop truck, and I need it to be a shop truck for a little while longer, and the only way to do that is to cover up the rust. And it's not really covering up the rust, it is making it a little stronger around the rust. So what I'm doing is I'm actually in here kind of looking down at what scrap metal I have, like in this pile here, and I'm actually trying to figure out what to use to patch the holes in the truck. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take the grinding wheel that I have and I'm going to retrofit that with the most aggressive wheel that I can possibly find, grind the rivets out of the shock mounts in the truck, and try my best to weld over and replace them. I don't really know what I'm going to do right there because I'm probably going to have to drill holes and put bolts through it and all sorts of really tedious labor, and I'm probably going to have to also try to find a way to take the spare tire out of the truck so I can work in there. And I know this isn't racing related, and I know it's not, you know, what you guys are used to seeing, but this is kind of the life of a racer right now. This is, and has always been, a vlog about racing and being a DIY car person. This is the stuff that goes on. And I'm sorry if you guys tune in for racing, but seasons are seasons. They do end. And I do implore all of you to just kind of hang out with me. Racing stuff will be around. It's just that right now, we're being racers and we're cleaning up our mess that we've made while we were racing. So this is all necessary stuff if you're going to do what I do. And a lot of you out there are probably nodding your head who experience this type of thing for yourself and saying, yeah, I hate the postseason because that means having to clean up everything. So we're doing that. Broke the big guns out. I grabbed the plasma torch at the bottom of that thing and just hacked the other side out. So I was actually in here looking around at like scrap metal in here, and then a thought kind of occurred to me. I own a plasma torch and I got a whole lot of scrap metal here, including frame material that I could cut out and just slap onto the spots that I need over there. I'll just freehand it if I have to. I mean, if I'm getting rid of it anyway, then why wouldn't I use it? Shoot, I even have I even have this jack down here that's pretty heavy duty stuff. I'm not going to use good, nice steel to fix this truck. I'm just going to use heavy steel of whatever brand I find laying around the yard, and then I'm going to burn it in there with a stick welder that I suck at using. So, by the way, as a disclaimer, I have to inform you that I live in a state that does not have vehicle inspections, and I am so glad that I don't, because that and the ability to plow people out of their driveways when it snows would never happen. The one thing that my state gets right, it's not taxes, it's not anything else, it's vehicle inspections. And the fact that when your vehicle is over 20 years old, you can register it as a classic and only pay on the value, which we shouldn't be paying property taxes on vehicles anyway. But you can value your vehicle at $500 and pay like $7 a year in property taxes on it. So I drive solely cars that are over 20 years old. So anyway, let's start hacking some stuff up. Smell of flux is heavy in the air, and this is one of those instances where you kind of think to yourselves, why did I even bother? Look at that boogery nightmare. And that's literally the only reason I did that, was to make sure that the leaf spring didn't fold the body, well, not even the body, but the chassis in half, because there was nothing left there. There's still holes here and here, but they're kind of small, and they don't really touch anything major, and there's still some bulk around them, so I'm kind of leaving them alone. I might just rub motor oil in them and hope for the best, but I got the new shocks in. It will do absolutely nothing to cure the feel of the truck, but I was thinking about just taking it for a test drive just to see, because, well, I think, you know, is there a sway bar in the back? No, we're not that lucky. The sway bar is not connected in the front. So this is just going to be an exercise in futility, but I should at least try it out, which I'll do that right after I clean up my mess. Oh, God dang it. Well, I don't have the greatest confidence that this thing is actually going to start, because it never does, and it smells perpetually like ether. So let's see if this thing even fires up, or even attempts to fire up. I mean, the radio works at least. Holy crap, that took a second. Oh. Yeah. She started though. Now let's see if it goes down the road. Tell you what, it does feel a lot more secure. The sway bar definitely needs to be hooked up, and the alignment's kind of garbage. But, you know, it is better. You take her somewhere bumpy and see how she works. You know? It's a lot better. I know the camera's a little bouncy here, but, I mean, it's a dirt road. But it doesn't feel like it's completely out of control like it used to. It actually kind of feels like a truck, and not like a bouncing beach ball. So, I mean, I'd say that's better. We got to come up with another solution for the rotted out fixtures and the rotted out sway bar and
you know, the rotted out axle retainer plates and U-bolts and, you know, everything on the truck pretty much.
Okay, so now it doesn't drive like a complete death trap. It just drives like a piece of crap. So at least now we can use it for its intended purpose. Scrap metal and plowing. All right. Oh, goodness. Let's play a game. How much rust falls off of it underneath? Oh, I forgot about the plating. That was a lot. It's kind of sad to throw away an old race car, but, you know, nobody wanted it. Oh, that's a shin buster. Oh, don't scratch it. I'll be at this for a while. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, that's all water. Oh, that's rust water, and it's all over my other car now. Great. Oh, darn, I got it on the truck. Oh well. Well, since the truck is a little bit more safe to use, I guess, the shop truck here, now we can at least boost a little bit of morale by cleaning up. And since the season just ended, like just ended last week, now is the perfect time because up here in Connecticut, it's gonna get cold. And it already is. If you can tell, I'm already wearing a single suit or whatever you call these, coveralls, I guess, coveralls, whatever. I'm already into coverall season, and that means it's going to be cold here for the next 6 to 8 months, and that's going to really stink. But behind me, you can see the plans that I have laid out. I need storage in this place. I could really use a storage container. Whether or not I can fit one in my yard at this moment is kind of up for debate. But it would be great if I could use that to put all my parts in, because then I could have the entire rest of this shop for workspace. That's not happening yet. So what I did was I bought not only one, but 2 storage cabinets from Temu. Don't hate me for that too much. Everything's made in China anyway. So I'm going to be putting these 2 together at some point, and that should at least help alleviate a lot of this issue as I keep going. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I could take and redo and reorganize and do all this stuff. I just kind of want to be able to do that off camera, right? And I put this video out this week in trying to at least get some work done and do something to just kind of give you guys some entertainment. But we do have plenty of stuff to do. I'm just trying to put it off for a couple weeks because Stafford, the track I race at, is going to be coming to this shop and filming a shop tour for their online series where they use to help and promote racers. And I'm going to be putting in my number registration for next year so that I get trading cards from this past season, because they do that as well for promotional purposes. So that'll be really cool. That means I don't want to really touch the car. I want to kind of leave it intact, and I have plenty of time to do that. They also came out with rules that completely change everything about the body on the car. Granted, I don't think they're very good, and we're kind of talking, and a lot of people are already talking to the track about it, so we may be getting that changed as well. So again, I'm just going to try to leave this thing in one piece long enough that we can get that video series done, and then we can start to maybe try to fix a couple of little things. Actually, the whole car needs to be stripped, and we need to start over with the body. But first, I want to put it on the jig at my chassis builder, MLZ Fabrication. And maybe, if we don't find anything, we'll just roll it back in the shop and keep working. I also have other projects on the table. I need to do something with that red car outside because I can't give it away. So what I was thinking of doing is changing the body again, and maybe putting it as close to being a Stafford legal car as a roller as possible. Or do I leave it alone, maybe fix a couple of the body things I hate, and make it like an open rules street stock, which apparently people seem to like around here so much that they changed the rules to Thompson and Waterford to essentially be that, which means that, you know, for a majority of the country, they would count as limited late models, but I digress. Or even late models in some case. Anyway, I have a lot of projects lined up, like I said. However, I don't have a lot of space. And that's why we're going to be working on trying to get this place cleaned up. The off season is the time for you to do exactly the same. And I apologize if this video is a little boring. I know we've just spent, 20 weeks plus of putting racing content out every single week, but this is a racing vlog, but it's also a DIY vlog. So it is what it is. The off season's upon us, and that stinks. But you know what? I still got a lot to do. What we did in this video was incredibly necessary for me to move forward in my projects and in my personal life and comfort. So, guys, I need you to go over to GleasonBrosRacing.com and get your merch for this channel because it helps me a lot. We have the race team shirts. We have the one that I previewed earlier, the Redneck Yoga Mat shirts. We have the Will Crew for free beer shirts, which are kind of fun. And my personal favorite, we have the Spank the Field t-shirts. We also have those available as a sticker and as a tank top. And we have tumblers, we have koozies, we have hats that I'm not wearing apparently because I didn't want to get it really disgusting. So go over there, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Tell your friends, please, because like I said, the more people that follow this thing, the more people that participate, the more people that go to the merch store and buy stuff, the more that I can afford, because of all the sales and ad revenue and stuff like that, to keep building things. And I want to keep doing that. And we need money for projects. So go get your Gleason's Garage merch. By the way, this tumbler, it keeps stuff. I can tell why you girls like this stuff. This thing keeps drinks cold for 12 plus hours. It kept ice in it the other day. I'm like, holy cow. If you're drinking a drink for 12 hours, that's impressive in itself. But again, I do apologize for the boring content, unless you guys are a diesel truck nut who like really, really bad, awful booger welding fixes to things that are probably not worth the money I spent on it in scrap. Well, again, this is the off season. We got projects coming. Just please bear with me. I beg of you all to just bear with me on this one. We will be back in spades as soon as we get that shop tour done. and I can get this car taken apart and we can get it to the jig. So then we can start moving. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry I'm talking so much. I greatly appreciate every single one of you coming by and hanging out with me. I got to cut the video short because I got family stuff to do tomorrow. So I'll see you guys next time.